2 videos in 1 week. Can you believe it? I can't believe it. New subscribers, thank y'all. Thank everyone for joining. I appreciate everyone that's been showing support, bringing it out. Like, it's gonna make a brother tip up. But no, I'm here at y'all request too. See, I like to be able to just talk to y'all and just literally ask you, hey, what's up? What do you want to hear from Q? What do you think is the best direction for Studio Q? Studio Q was filmed in front of a live audience. All right, we're talking about politics today. I'm sure you've read by the title. The girls are fighting, and it's making everybody want to know, like, how can stuff still function in this world? Like, as you can see, people still went to work today. Life still lifed. Things have still been going on. By the way, just check out, like, it's a really nice area where I'm at. Like, it's 97,000 degrees, but you make do. Anywho, politics. All right, politics. Before I begin, knowledge is understanding of the truth of this universe, this physical reality that we're in. Irrefutable objective truth. And truth is power. You can't argue with the truth. You can't stop the prophet. If you know who that is, if you know that song, I like you. You're a cool person. I want to know what other songs you know. If you don't know it, hit me up in the comments and ask me about it. I'll let you know. All right, politics comes from the Greek word polis or polis. And the Greek word polis is a city-state, I would say uniquely defined by its ideals and philosophical values. It is a self-governing city-state. The thing that makes me think of is a metropolis. It's its own government that can either be, there's many different forms of government. There's democratic, republic, there's autocratic, there's a bunch of functioning, well, I can't say functioning because this ancient time, we're talking about today, and we see what's functioning today. If you call this functioning, dang. I don't know. Yeah, no, it's not functioning well. Yeah. It's like trying to go for a run. You ain't got no legs. Okay, so why did I tell you the root word of polis? Because words have power and intentionality when used. Just because you don't use words seriously doesn't mean whatever this force is that is the universe that we inhabit, the reality that we live, takes it as a joke, takes it unseriously. Dr. Strange, when you see him doing that, and when he messed up, he messed up. So you got to be intentional with everything you do, or it could backfire, most definitely. All right, how can politics affect you? Here's the simple way. You can only be betrayed when you were promised something and you don't have it anymore. Like, that wasn't the case. The deal was off. You're not being represented how you needed to. That's the whole reason 1776 happened. Because the core values that we believe in, that we need so much that we're willing to die over it, need to be expressed and put out in such a way that other people are going to vouch for us. We can crowdfund these things. We can agree upon them as a society. And if you don't agree with that, well, you can find a new society. We can listen to you and see if we're the wrong. Right. I know, I hear you. Or we can just keep it pushing and get rid of you however we see fit, be it peacefully or non-peacefully. So, yeah. I've been thinking it for the longest time, like, America needs a big Zoom meeting. I'm not going to be the host because my Wi-Fi is not that good. I'm not going to be the host, but I am advocating that every person talk like on the world's biggest Wi-Fi. I'm telling you. And the moment we talk to each other, we're going to realize that, hey, we all kind of just want the same thing. Majority of us. If you're a billionaire and you've been losing financially lately, and you have billionaire receipts, you feel what I'm saying? Like, your standard of living is billionaire now, and you ain't been winning, you ain't been billionaire winning for a minute. But if I get enough people to support me, I can do what I need to. You feel what I'm saying? And now that I've done what I need to, we're just turning around, by the way. Yeah, I got something to do in about half hour. I've been looking forward to this for a minute. So I'm going to try to keep it concise, but you know me. If you know me, you know me. We're going to do this. Back to what I was saying. If you've been losing for a minute, or if you're just ambitious, maybe even benevolent ultimately in your approach, but you realize in the ways of this world that you cannot be in a position of doing this out of your own pocket and see real change in the world. You need money in this society of America. You need it. You need it. Irrefutable. They ain't stopped sending money. I promise you, dollar bills have not stopped being printed despite all of this. And that's the other thing about this. Someone is benefiting from this, whether people have genuine good in their hearts, the way they vote. Not when I say they, I mean the politicians. Because it's real easy when someone gives you, politician only gets paid like 100, 200,000, somewhere between that range. I think it varies by the state. Because, you know, representatives, they have more depending on the population. The populi, let me stop. That's another word for another day. So, the people, more representation. Problem is, more people agree not to represent, more people not heard. You feel what I'm saying? If people agree in high places, we're not going to let this out. As good as it would do society, as much as we promise the people, we cannot go through with this because a lot of these government agencies, once the need has been satisfied, you're not going to be in a position of necessity anymore. You're going to be you're done. Job's over, you know? You can come back now. You can retire. But what if you don't want to retire? What if I've dipped my hand in things to where, again, what if my lifestyle demands more? How much is enough? Only that person can decide. The truth is, it never is. Because you just can't seem to satisfy the people after you've satisfied yourself. If you have not seen Ibrahim Traoré, I probably butchered his name, the president of Burkina Faso. If you didn't see what that man said at the UN speech, I will link this in the description. Man, let it be known. The truth is out here. I listened to KRS-One. KRS-One, his name is an acronym. Knowledge reigns supreme over nearly everyone. I say that to say, he predicted that the years of 2020, 2000 and beyond were going to be pushed by, not even predicted. He said it was foretold, and he was just the messenger. He's just saying that the world is going to be led by truth, ingenuity, rise in femininity, masculinity, and we're trying to actually converge this energy into one. Now, there's always going to be people resistant to change, and those same people might be in the places you need to be. I want to say that to say, voting won't matter until every single person decides what side they're on. If no one can decide where they want to be, that's worse than choosing a side, you feel me? Because you can either be recruited to either side, and your indifference doesn't help the side that's pushing for a positive change. Think about it. If we're playing Warzone and we got squads up It's supposed to be 50 v 50. You know, it's supposed to be like that. But 20 of the 50 that's fighting for the right reasons are fighting two different groups and themselves. They're doing free for all in the middle of a team deathmatch, TDM. So that's easy pickings. We just don't even worry about that group. Like, then you got to worry about the insurgents, the people who are really focused. Like, oh, I know if I take out these strategists, if I take out the good players, we don't have anything to worry about from the rest of the team, because they don't substantiate enough to pose a threat. You got to understand. And here's my PSA, not even PSA, message to the gangbangers, to the people who really want to run the block. Why are you aiming your weapons at your own community? First, you soft for that. First, you're soft for that, because these are the same people keeping you safe. Do you know they have weapons? They have weapons built like mosquitoes. They on some Time Crisis stuff. Like, if you never played Time Crisis, it's like that game at Dave and Buster's where you chilling, you step on the pedal and you pow, pow, pow. Dog, that game was everything for me. I had one on the PS2. I remember that specifically. It was a fun Christmas. But yes, Time Crisis. They got weapons. They got technology that'll melt you where you stand, and there's nothing you can do about it. But you talking about you run the block. You talking about ain't nobody gonna do this, and you will slay anybody that looks like you, except for the people that actually pose a threat to you. With that being said, gangbangers, if you really want to be some menaces, be a menace to the right people. Please and thank you. Number two, the community. You can't complain when you don't say nothing to nobody. When you are a bystander in your own community and you don't pitch in any effort, you can't complain about the community. You are the reflection of the community's efforts. Are you not? If you don't know your neighbor's name, get to know your neighbor. Cook a dish. I don't know. I like cooking. Sometimes it's a hit and miss. I've had way more hits than misses. But, you know, you make that one dish and it just don't turn out how you want. You be like, ooh, let me grab my DoorDash. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, you know, the hardest part about community is trusting other people. Other people have their own agendas. And it's not to say that everyone's working bad or negatively. Like, think about, I'll give you an example. Spawn, the 90s, 2000s cartoon, Spawn. You can't tell me that wasn't golden. That's a big reason of why I want to voice act. Just the delivery, the message, the nuance. There's this politician who ends up getting too big for his britches. Now look, the plan was already set in place. He's just the face. That's his job. There are companies worth trillions of dollars. You don't know what a trillion looks like. I promise you, a trillion is just hard to quantify if you aren't even a billionaire. Back to the discussion of that though. There's the trillionaires. It's like, we need a guy in the office. He's running the presidential race. He's like, yeah, I'll do it. And a little down the line, he starts promising things and saying things to win over the people, because, you know, the people want to hear the truth. The people want to trust you. That's how you win the popular vote, the vote of the people. You cater to what they want to hear, because you know them. Most politicians that haven't had someone in the realm of government or politics before, through nepotism. Some people hate nepotism. I'm all for it. I want my people to succeed after me. I want to set up and establish generational success. And if you don't want to do that, I don't know what to tell you. That's kind of weird. If you don't want to leave a legacy, do your thing, man. I understand. I understand the fear of not wanting to be enough, or not feeling like you are enough, or feeling like the things you've done in the past weigh you down too much for you to have a future. I understand all that, truly. But I say this to say, if you are too afraid of embracing the community will never embrace you. If the community is running so well, self-governing, as to where they don't even need government, that's when we're a problem to the government. We're going to see that more and more. Blue collar work is going to be pushed to a standstill because we're going to need to reevaluate what's essential and what does it mean to take care of the essential. What does that look like? We're gonna have to choose some sides. I'm here for it because you cannot be in the middle. You can't be a fence sitter. You're either doing something or you're not. Like it or not. Sorry, that breeze was beautiful. If you haven't been outside today, go outside. Again, talk to somebody. Get to know somebody that lives next to you. Cook for someone other than yourself. And I promise you the food will taste better because you're catering to someone else's needs. You're wanting to extend your impression or your authenticity to another person. Embrace that. Have random conversations in the grocery store. I can't speak, and that's how you know it's time to stop. I said grocery. All right, y'all. Whew. Have I missed any points? Let's think. So yeah, you can only be betrayed when someone promised you something. Don't have your expectations low. Be in the community before you start complaining about the community. Gangbangers, you heard what I said to y'all. And if you didn't, I'm gonna say it one more time. Dog, do the right thing. Remember, gangs were created as a civil defense, a self-governing defense against unfair treatment. Please don't forget where you come from. Respect your history, or you're doomed to repeat it. Respect your history. I'm not yelling for a rebellion. I'm yelling for unity. Worldwide unity. That's what I'm yelling for. So please understand. It's all love. It really is. I don't hate. I tell the truth, and the truth is uncomfortable. The truth is very reflective. It puts a mirror up, and then all of a sudden, you have to do something about it because those are the results. America has done a good job of ignoring the results. We've done a good job of ignoring the results of our past. And when you think about why is something not the way I want it to, let's not act like we don't know. We could have put more work in, or there could be a time where you thought to yourself, man, I am not where I need to be for the simple fact of this is just too hard. This is harder than I thought it'd be. I'm not equipped with the skills to really handle this the way I thought I was. Everyone needs a mentor because everyone's a beginner at something until they become a master at something. Your other skills in life might make you more adept in other situations because you can make relative experience due to your knowledge. But ultimately, if you're trying to learn something and you're genuinely trying to learn it for the betterment of other people, not just yourself, you can't fail. But the moment people decide to look inwardly, that's when things fail. Case in point, let's round it back. Look at what's happening with Elon and Donald Trump. Look, I have grandiose ideas, but at the same time, I'm not a billionaire. To be a billionaire, you really gotta be at a point in your life where you're making decisions that hurt people, and you have to make them, and you're so used to making them that you become numb to it. There are good billionaires, there are good CEOs, but there are bad ones too. And it's hard to be a good one when the rules of power suggest that you have to dip your hand in the bad. Otherwise, the bad will control you from all around. What do? If you're given the keys and you know crime is not going to stop, if you know evil is always going to be present, wouldn't you rather try and work with it than abolish it completely? I don't know. I do know the answer, but it's more nuanced than that, and that's a change people aren't ready for. Nobody's willing to give up everything for the promise of something later. Who's willing to do that? Because it's already hard enough to continue your existence as is, given all that people go through. I've rambled on long enough. Let me know what you think. Like this video if you like this video. Hit that thumbs down if you didn't like this video. If I said some things that made you uncomfortable, I apologize that you soft. With that being said, peace. It's hot.